Temperatures have been on the rise again recently, and beaches along the Sussex coast have been buzzing with families making the most of the summer sunshine. However, it may surprise you to learn that 1 in 4 children can't swim 25 metres by the time they leave primary school. Well, Angela Swim School offers lessons across the South East. They've got venues in Sussex in both Hastings and in Littlehampton. The CEO, Angela Wilson, joins me now. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, Mark?
I am very well. Thanks for being with me. That's quite a surprising statistic, isn't it? What do we put it down to?
A lot of this is down to the fact that parents and children don't have the understanding of swimming and keeping safe around water. So a lot of children don't go to lessons until they start school. Unfortunately, now they're not providing enough lessons through the schools, and a lot of schools are not able to access swimming lessons. So this is why the statistics are the way they are, unfortunately.
And I guess there is almost a legal requirement, isn't there, for schools to provide swimming lessons, but certainly even in my own experience, I know that sometimes that provision can be a little bit patchy.
Yes, I think part of the reason this is happening is because the schools are not able to get it into their curriculum the same way that they were years ago, and now it's not seen as being as important, but now we're seeing a lot of children unable to swim, and it's now becoming a little bit of a crisis across the whole country.
I remember when my two were very little, the idea really is to get them into the water, even as babies, to get mum or dad to take them along to one of those very kind of early years swimming lessons, just to get them acquainted with the water.
We do that. That's exactly what we offer at the swim school. We try to encourage all the parents to bring the children at 4 months old to get them used to the water, learn the importance of starting early, how to breathe, how to blow bubbles, making sure they put their armbands on. But these are things, and children enjoy being in the water from an early age, so they don't have that fear. The problem is that they develop a fear, and adults have that fear as well, if they haven't been in the water from an early age. So the fear grows over time, which prevents them then from learning to swim properly.
And thinking back to when my son was very small, I mean, again, it was one of those things where my wife took him along for swimming lessons, and all the other kind of very young babies that were in the pool seemed to be having a great time, and my son would just scream and scream. What do you do when you're faced with a child that just doesn't want to be in the water?
We've had so many, Mark, honestly. I've been teaching for nearly 30 years, and I've had thousands of children come to us and be unhappy when they first come along, but we just persevere. We tell the parents, don't give up, keep coming, because that reaction, actually, as they get older, some of those children end up being our best swimmers. And I've seen children that have cried at the very start actually go on to swim in the Olympic Games. So it's amazing how much they must keep doing this and keep coming.
Now, clearly, some children, when they come along to these lessons, will go on and swim, you know, and take it very seriously and learn different strokes and so on. Actually, the key thing is just, you know, and even if it's the doggy paddle, if it's going to get you out of danger, if you're in that situation where, I don't know, you know, the tide suddenly turns or whatever, you've got at least some way of getting yourself back to safety.
We try not to teach children just to survive. We actually teach them to swim, which is so important. If they learn to swim and they learn to swim properly, then they will survive. Part of the misconception is that if children can just get themselves around the pool, they're safe. But in actual fact, if they can't swim properly, they're not safe. So this is something that we've been working on through not just our swim school, but a campaign that we've set up. We've designed characters to teach children and educate them in how to learn to swim the front crawl, the backstroke, the breaststroke properly. And by doing that, they're more relaxed. By doing that, they learn how to breathe, and they can swim further because they know the technique of the strokes.
And, of course, we're getting into that season now where the kids will be going to the beach. And, of course, those skills that they've learnt in the swimming pool then need to apply, you know, at the seaside. And parents, I mean, because parents can only be so alert. And suddenly you can turn literally for a moment and your child's out of your sight.
Yeah, and this is something that worries me very much now as we're coming into the summer. Unfortunately, that was something that happened recently in Mallorca. There was a 6-year-old that drowned in May in the half-term week, unfortunately, because the parents lost sight of him. So one of my things is that I say to parents, please, please keep either a life jacket or armbands on your children if they can't swim, around the sea, around water, just to make sure that they're safe, and don't take your eyes off them for a minute.
If people want to know more about what you do, how can they find out? It's
www.angelaswimschool.co.uk, Mark.
Very good. Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have a good weekend.
You too. Thank you very much for having me.